He was the best man. Yes, he was. He was the best man at my wedding to Paula Simon in 1974. And he was also the best man to mentor me during that complex period of my young adulthood, so filled with challenge, promise, disappointment, achievement, joy, and sadness, new responsibilities and realizations. Alvin Thomas was a man for all seasons. Whether they were those of plenty or those of nothingness, he accepted them calmly, coolly, respectfully, carefully, and steadfast in his belief that through discipline, diligence, hard work, and dedication, he would always see another glorious morning. He was ever the optimist. He was my mentor and best friend, a diadem, a talisman. Take your pick. And if he was not yours, he should have been. Dugga was simply one of the best human beings to walk this planet. If indeed all the world is a stage, Alvin bestrode it like a colossus. So Hugga Dugga, him also known as Rubber Nose, was a footballer, a raconteur, bon vivant, mass player, music aficionado, fashion plate, and above all, father, husband, and lover of his family, his friends, and native land. On each of those stages, he would have won a best individual. And as a husband, father, and family man, he certainly copped a king of the band. Oddly enough, he almost won the queen of the band title in a small Monday mass, Once a Man, Twice a Baby by Carl Blackman, when he dressed up as a baby girl in a frilly outfit with diaper exposed, wearing a bonnet and licking a lollipop as he took to the stage. Alvin's affinity for music was ubiquitous, and he delighted in discovering new greatness in any genre, from Kaiso to classics, and always had something new that he wanted to share, new players or a revised gem. Trinidad All-Stars was his favorite band, and according to Tony Watkins, Alvin told him about Andy Narell long before Narell became popular. His parties at St. Jamestown are the stuff of legend. It could be a basketball side, 5 guys and 5 girls, or a full-on jam with 60 or more people in his 2-bedroom apartment. He had all the latest R&B, calypso, and dance music from everywhere in the world on the deck, and he was a perfect host. I remember when he introduced us to Fela Ransom Kuti and Africa 70, and it turned us on. Alvin was also known for his thoughtful play and panache as a footballer, with both Dynamos in Trinidad and Airi in Toronto. As a midfield player, he served his teammates well, allowing them to glory. He did that for his friends also. He was a constant conduit of support. He knew how to dance both on and off the field. He took his time to sharpen my knowledge of the jazz masters and schooled me particularly thoroughly on Coltrane, Miles, Albert Ayler, and Ellington. When I started to review music at Contrast newspaper, it pleased him greatly, happy to see me do something I enjoyed. And I know, in that regard, I was not alone. Dugga noticed everything about anyone he came in contact with. Somehow his mind catalogued body language, facial expression, walk, speech pattern, accent, or behavioral tendency in seconds, and had it ready for deployment in mimic or story at a moment's notice. He was quick to tease and hand out nicknames. Carl Thorpe was given the Artful Dodger. Joe Thomas became Disco Joe. Eddie Raghunandan, the Spy. A certain lady, Quayle Belly. And the most famous of all, Garth McGlure, was dubbed Tantana. His devotion to Trinbagonian culture and cuisine was exceptional. He would recall in detail a lo mein dish from China Clipper restaurant on Marine Square, argue that the honeycomb chicken from Queen Street was the best in the world, and there was no candy anywhere better than a Tulum or Tambran ball. He celebrated and promoted calypso and steel band music as if he invented it. He treasured all he encountered, from the lowliest person on the street to the exalted. He reminded us of characters like Tozup and Mahal, John Craig and Britain. He spoke of Simple, his time maker, and how him and his buddies, Skero, Sek, Toyo, Shoes, Appa, et al., paid attention to their attire when they went to a dance. Make sure your clothes fit properly and are well pressed. Seams razor sharp, he would admonish, and don't forget to polish your shoes. He was always seen meticulously turned out, of course except for Juve morning, when it was mud or paint from head to toe. Alvin's mind was complex and brilliant. I don't know anyone who could so easily deride the half-decents if they were arrogant, superficial, or hypocritical, and embrace those who were genuine, humble, and of societal value in the same stride. He was that mentally quick and astute. He started his work in Canada as a porter on the CN train, made his way to the accountant office at George Brown College, and ultimately to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will never forget when we watched the 1972 Miami Dolphins go undefeated. His favorite receiver was Paul Warfield, and he loved Kick, Azonka, and Mercury Morris in the backfield. He loved NFL football and laughed at the nonsensical usage of that word. He fell in love with Margaret in California, and the rest is now history. I once teasingly said to him, "Margaret and yourself are like Beauty and the Beast," to which he laughingly replied, "Chinese boy, you know you're right. You ain't know how I feel. It's like I win the lottery. Look, this beautiful sweet woman I have is heaven." For him, it was a life changer. He worshipped her, and as their children came along, his happiness and wonderment grew. His focus became them, and he had rounded the last corner of his personal development. Sir Dugga was now at peace with himself and comfortable in the arms of his own family. It had fulfilled a tradition and long journey for him. Alvin was staunchly proud of his humble upbringings on Nelson Street, and even more so of his mother, Iris Thomas. Mama, as we called her, was his guiding light and the brightest star in the firmament. He spoke often of decency, morality, and character, credos which he inherited directly from her. The love and devotion he had for her and his siblings, Frankie, Joyce, Elsa, and Claudia, was endless. That love is what he extended to friends throughout Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, Canada, the United States, England, Europe, and other places around the world. Malcolm Gladwell wrote in The Tipping Point about little things that change the world and influence societies. If it were to be personified, it would be Alvin Thomas. His manner, intellect, talent, and lifestyle spoke to everyone. People searched him out and asked for his opinions on restaurants, clothes, concerts, festivals, carnival bands, fetes, and parties. And he could affect ticket sales and attendance to any occasion. He was medium-sized and slim, a handsome man of darker hue, but he cast a ginormous shadow. If he could hear me now, he would say, "Who you talking about?" with a wry smile and giggle. Always self-effacing, he served us all, family, friends, country, and humanity well. Those who spent time walking down the street with him would attest it was never a simple exercise. People from all walks of life would approach and want to talk with him. Sometimes he would have no recollection who the person was, but he always obliged. He was a rock star in his own genre and in his own right. Completely unusual and unprecedented. That is perhaps the best summary of my brother, my friend, and my best man, Alvin. I hope somehow, someday, there will be another. But I doubt it. I want you to remember this man, this brilliant piece of black magic, this Dugga, carved from the school of difficulty and denial, who rose from the detritus of the denigrated and discarded to a majesty of godlike status by his kindness, care, hard work, and love. Winding his way across life's stage, dancing a big mass, like never before, with a dingole, sometimes moving like a dragon, and always smiling, happy, and reveling in the brilliance of the sun in his face from across the gulf just before it would set. Sleep well, sweet prince. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. May the memories of you never fade from our hearts and minds. It is for us to tell our children wonderful stories about you. You wrote so many of them. Indeed, you were a one and only, Alvin, unique in so many ways, and truly legend. All my love, Daryl.